Hey guys, it's me again. Just a little bit of humor. I was scouring the comments or whatever, which is a lot. Thank you. Uh, and I come across a comment that said, "Wow, you have huge hands," and it just struck me as funny. And I mean, yeah, I have big paws. Uh, I'm the little guy from Virginia, Tim's friend, which he just texted me while I'm doing this video. Uh, but little information about me: I'm 6'4", uh, weigh like 239, and I have a. The last ring I had was a size 29, I do believe, and which now it's summer, so I've lost a little bit of my winter weight, so I'm probably down to like a 25 ring now, right now. It's just where I'm like do mechanic work a lot, work with my hands all the time, so my hands are rough and hard or whatever, but my heart's nice and soft though. Even though I'm a big burly looking guy, I'm real nice, but the comment just it struck me funny because I'm thinking here I'm making a video and they notice, wow, you got these huge hands. But I just think the people that did the comment or whatever, and just a little bit of humor on the side, just to make things a little lighter. We'll get into some hard hitting truth there a little bit later. I've seen several comments, about telling me, to stay blunt, and I know that is the way to go, seeing as how they took me out faster than a person could get whiplash. I really want to open people's eyes to the lies of history. Everything we've been told since we was knee high to a grasshopper in school, has been lies. And what's even worse than that is these so-called churches, that's on every corner of every town. Let me make this point. You figure every town, every city has, 3, 4, 500, if not 1,000 churches, but yet everybody's still going to hell. But yet God's way of doing it was these small, intimate home churches, and he almost won the whole world by doing it that way. Whose way is the way we should be doing things? Should we have these corporate businesses to make millions of dollars to pay for parking lots and air-conditioned padded pews, and have one person lording over a congregation, called the Nicolaitan model, as God says that he hates? And, people are going to hell left and right thinking that this is the way God would have it to be. And it's just bull-faced lies, but yet nobody knows any better because they stopped reading their word themselves. It just fires me up, to think, that people think, miracles don't happen anymore because God's not hands-on anymore since the apostles and prophets have all died off. Well, the fact of the matter is I've seen people healed. I've seen demons cast out. I've seen miracles happen before my eyes that science can't explain, because there's one higher than science that made science, and that is Yahuwah HaMashiach, the God the Father, and Yeshua the Son. It just fires me up that it's time that we take off the glasses that society and lies have handed us and start getting back to the truth, reading what it says and doing what it says, because it doesn't matter what we think. It's his way or burn. It's his house, his rules. And for people to think that the law passed away is stupid. Because, just a simple little question for you. If you truly believe that the law has passed away, let me ask you this. Can you still sin today? And if you say, well, yes, you can sin. Well, according to 1 John chapter 3, verse 4, says that sin is transgression of the law, or Torah of God, because sin is transgression of the law. So if you can sin, that means there's still law in effect to convict you or to condemn you, to witness against you. So obviously, if you can sin, there's still law, which means we are still to obey. You figure faith is, let's see, what is that saying I heard? Yeah, faith is the root, but obedience is the fruit of our salvation. In other words, go back to Noah. Was it just his faith that saved him, or was it obedience in building the ark that saved him? How about Lot? Was it his faith or his obedience in doing what the angel said? And it goes on and on. The Israelites, was it their faith or was it their obedience? All the way down the line. It takes both. And, I just want people's eyes to be opened, to see that, the law is still in effect. And of course, you're going to have these people say, you can't keep all 613 laws. Well, hey, guess what? They don't all apply. Christ himself never kept all 613 because they don't all apply to everyone. Some are just for the Levitical priesthood that are gone, passed away. Some are just for females. Some are just for those when they're on their menstrual cycle. Some are for farmers. Some are just for widows. Some of them for orphans. You just pick and choose what applies to you and you obey. And yes, they all fall under the two categories that Christ gave us. Love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, mind, soul, and strength, as in law number 1, and law number 2, or should I say category number 2, is love thy neighbor as yourself. Go through every single law, you'll find out that it falls in one of those two categories. That's why he said that all of the law and the prophets hang upon these two commands. And they just want to misquote what Christ said. Is he told us, thank not that I come to abolish the law. He says, but until heaven and earth passes away, not one jot nor a tittle will pass from the law. Well, heaven and earth is still here. And the reason they're still here and the law is still in effect is because whenever you read in the Old Testament, when Moses was given the law, he called heaven and earth to be witnesses against us on the day of judgment. So, in the book of Revelation, we see heaven and earth being the first two entities that declare judgment on us. It's mind-blowing, but it's just that simple. But we'll get into that a little bit better in another one. I just wanted to give some light humor or whatever that, I found it just struck me funny. And I just thank you. I needed that laugh after all the fighting and bickering and emails that I've been going through with YouTube and them trying to shut me up and censor me. I just thank you. And again, Tim, I thank you again for sending the word. And thank you, everyone, for commenting. I do want to say, if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask me. I'll do my best to answer them. If you have any questions about me, I'll do my best to answer them. I'm just a simple guy, and I just have a heart for my brothers and sisters, that are on the way to hell because they have heard nothing but lies and half-truths, and just because, it's easier to function in this world thinking that the law was passed away, that we don't have to keep the feasts or the Sabbaths or the dietary laws. Everybody loves their bacon, and it's just, I'm right there with you. Hey, I gave up bacon and pork, and I loved it. It loved me, buddy, I'm telling you. There ain't nothing better than bacon and eggs or bacon and pancakes. I'm telling you, I love it. You know, it's big food down in the country, and you have to give it up for your Father. It's His house, His rules. You figure if you don't believe me, go over in Isaiah chapter 66 and read. It says there will be no boy, that's a tongue twister. No swine flesh eaters make it to the kingdom of God. That's serious. And He's not saying, well, maybe I'll let them in, maybe it just depends. No, He's saying flat out, nobody that eats pig is going to be in the kingdom of God. It's black and white, folks. And no matter who believes otherwise, even if they're your famous preacher or some bigwig fat cat preacher, don't matter. They're wrong. God's always right. It's His rules, His word, His way. You figure He sent His Son, who was the way, the truth, and the life. He's the door that we're to walk through. And if anybody thinks any different, well, they're in for a rude awakening on Judgment Day. I love y'all, and I'll be back in touch. God bless you all.